Hello and welcome to Real Talk, your guide to real estate success. And here are your hosts, Brian Woodward and Lauren Burpo.
Hi everybody, welcome to our episode this week of Real Talk. Lauren Burpo, one of your hosts, and then co-host Brian Woodward.
Hi, how's everybody doing?
This week we're going to be talking about goals and business planning for coming into the new year. Brian brings a really good perspective to our office as far as setting goals and obtaining goals, not just writing them on a piece of paper, but creating a plan to get there, which I think is even more important than just having them down. And I know we've got quite a few things we want to go over as far as goal planning and business planning. So without further ado, we're going to take it away.
Yeah, I think, the biggest thing is I think it's an exciting time of year. I might not sound real excited because I've been sick, but it's just an exciting time of year because you get to look back at what you did last year. And then, maybe it's about hope. It's like you have all this hope, because what's life without hope? So you have this hope that this next year can be whatever I want it to be.
Right.
And I think it's just a lot of fun to put it down in writing and plan it out. And of course, we always teach around here, don't have any plan if you don't model it out to make sure it's actually going to work. So we can all pipe dream and make up stuff and make numbers work where they're supposed to work. And in reality,
if you don't have a plan,
we're BSing ourselves.
Yeah.
And we don't end up anywhere. So, but kind of the first thing we did here as our brokerage goes, we'll just kind of go with how we do it here.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And then, of course, any information anybody needs, we have it all, so we're glad to send it to you.
Yeah.
But the first thing, I'll just grab this real quick. So the first thing we start with everybody is, obviously, if you're listening to this, you can't see my vision board, but we have everybody do vision boards to start out the year. And we've been doing that this week. And actually, we were just talking about yesterday at our meeting, everybody shared their vision board. And it was just crazy how emotional people were and how personal it was and how, I don't know, it was crazy. It was just, and I was telling everybody today, I think it's so important as a team. So whether you're on a team, maybe you're a team of just two, or even if it's just your family or your spouse or whatever, if you were to sit down and actually do a vision board every year of what you guys, what are your goals? What do you see your life looking like? What do you, this is actually mine from last year. I haven't got mine for this year done yet, so I just need to glue everything to it. But, last year my deal was get rid of limiting beliefs. So to not, don't limit myself on what the possibilities are. So that's what most people on our team did. They'd have this main focus of the year. And then kind of
build around it.
And then kind of put everything on, and I just had some stuff where we were going to go bikepacking and then Machu Picchu, which we haven't done yet, but we did go somewhere. I had the Appalachian Trail, which we did that.
If you haven't seen those videos, I'll share a link to that YouTube page too, because that was really inspiring to see.
Yeah, we hiked 275 miles of the Appalachian Trail was a goal. We still want to do more of it, but that's what we got done. And then I bought a farm this year, and then just this year on my vision board, my new one I'm doing, it has more about more numbers and stuff about the office instead of just all personal. And that's what most people on the team did, is they merged their goals with their visions. And a lot of people had vacations and trips they want to go on and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. But if you've never done that, we kind of have the instructions to do it all. So if you reach out to us, we're glad to get that to you. I just think it's a really neat thing to share, and it's one thing to do it and then you just stick it on your wall, but it's one thing when you stand up in front of the group you work with or that your team members with, because everybody gets to know you better.
Yeah.
So it's
it builds more of a culture and a bond when it's not just, and that's what I love about this office is, yes, you're an individual agent. You work on the team, right? We're all doing the same goal. But to be able to actually tell each other what our goals are, that's the only way we can help anybody. It kind of gets me emotional thinking about the agent's goals, because if they don't have their goals or they don't have a plan for that, there's no possible way for you or I to help them reach it. And that's all I want more than anything is for them to have the lives that they deserve, and in hopes in return to get the life that I think I deserve.
Right. Well, the biggest quote I say this to my kids all the time, like, if you don't have a plan, then you're going to live somebody else's plan. So if you don't have goals, you're going to be accomplishing somebody else's goals.
Yeah.
Same as if you don't have a plan, you're going to accomplish somebody else's plan. So you better have your own plan. So anyway, and kind of moving on from that. So, and this is kind of what we were struggling with kind of to do the podcast, is we were like, you know, like we always tell everybody, what's your why? You don't always say, what's your why? Like, what's your why? Like, you know, why did you go get your real estate license? Why are you doing this? What's your purpose? And it's hard.
It's so ambiguous because it's like to each person, so it's hard to tell somebody. And we have this is the bullet point we've spent the most time on, is what is your why? Because we can't tell you what your why is. We can tell you how to hopefully get to it, which, you know, it should be something that's emotional, that gets you out of bed every morning, you know.
Well, it's like, so I have a coach through Tom Ferry, Rick Cheever, and he's always big about saying, like, you know, it's, if somebody says their why, like if it's financial, like that's not really their why, you know. And although I do say, like, that has something to do with it. I mean,
it's part of it.
It has to be part of it in a way, because, you know, we talk around here about, like, you know, real estate. Obviously, you know, your why should be to take care of customers and just build this, you know, awesome business of referrals, and where you're helping everybody you love and like, and the relationships of it all. But also, it's like, you know, it's about funding the life you want to live. So if we look at the vision board, you know, that's the things you want to do and how you vision your life. How are you going to fund that?
Yeah.
You know, unless you just buy a bunch of lottery tickets. So anyway, but
I don't recommend that.
Yeah, I don't know how that always works out for people. So anyway, so when it goes to coming up with your why, I think that, you know, I mean, you really just got to dig deep and find out what motivates you, what drives you. And I wish I had a magic way to do that. I've been to so many classes and things where they're like, you know, like missions, you know, what's your mission statement? You know, what's your vision statement? What's your brokerage vision statement? It's so hard to come up with. I always struggle with that. I really do, because I don't know, you know, and everybody's so different, you know, which, you know, our why, you know, as our brokerage, our why is to basically to help, you know, to help agents and clients. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
to help
reach their goals.
To help everyone reach their goal. That's
and have the best quality of service possible. You know, help people without doing them
Same for the
service,
agents, you know, as the office staff providing service, like we're providing service to, like the agents are providing service to the clients. So, anyway, so once you get your why, and then you know, once you get your vision board done, I mean, I just think I've been telling everybody, I've been on this pretty big this year about, I really want everybody on it, and we pretty much have everybody has it done, but I really was important to me that everybody has a vision board, because you can look at it every day, you can think about it. It kind of just keeps you more focused on your plan.
Yeah.
So,
it's right there in front of you versus just in your head where you forget about it.
Right. So, but let's talk about a little bit, like, so if you're in real estate goals and business planning, you know, it's very, very important you go back and look and see what you did last year.
Yeah.
You know,
where
compare,
your business came from.
What was your goals last year? Where did you compare? You know, did you hit your goal? Did you go past your goal? You know, we're really big here on, like, where did your business come from? You know, we have several different lead sources here that we get leads from, and but we always want to see on our team, you know, somewhere around 60 to 70% of their business comes from their sphere of influence.
Right. Their referral network.
Yeah. So sphere of influence is one of the biggest things we work on. Obviously, it's nice to get any leads you can get and get a closing. There's nothing wrong with that. And then those people usually end up going on your sphere.
Yeah.
But it is crazy. So yesterday on the bold predictions, and I might have the numbers somewhere, but Brian Buffini's bold predictions yesterday, he was talking about how many people worked off of referrals, or it was like, I think it was it 60 or 80%?
Let's see.
So many of the people had referred. 87%.
Sellers.
Yeah, would sellers basically use the same agent they had used before, if that agent had stayed in touch with them you know.
Yeah, and followed up and checked in with them. And a big thing is like anniversaries, birthdays, anything you can do to reach out and just be that person. And really, at the end of the day, you're just showing care and that you like them. You know, really, it's all relationships.
Which is a whole nother training on sphere of influence. But I mean, really, if you've been in this for several years, you should be, you know, and it takes time to build up your sphere and your network to get, you know, that many referrals.
Yeah.
So when you're going through and you're setting your goals, you know, we like to do, you know, we focus on unit goals a lot, and I don't think it's because, I don't know. I'm always like, you know, if you focus on the units and not really the financial part of it, when it comes to your real estate goals, it just seems like you always hit the
units.
You always hit the financial part if you hit the units.
Yeah, and I think it's less stressful too, you know, than being held accountable to like, here's a dollar amount I need to make because GCI is going to be different per property, right? So
yeah, I mean, you can't. Sometimes that's out of your control.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you get a referral to sell an $80,000 house or a referral to sell a $600,000 house, you don't know.
Right.
But if you focus on the units, I just always know you usually end up hitting your goal.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when we're doing the goals and stuff, like there's really a lot that goes into it. So you're going to have your business goals, you have your financial goals, which is, you know, what you're going to make, and then kind of your budget, your personal budget. Professional goals. We have professional goals on here because it's like, you know, do you want to get any designations? Do you want to, you know, go to more classes? Like this year, I have a goal of I want to get my ALC, which is accredited land consultant. Mm-hmm. So I've just got a couple classes I need to take to get that done. And I don't know why I haven't got it done before.
Doesn't it feel that way when you start working towards, like when I wrote down my goals for this year, as I started writing them a couple weeks ago, I realized that a lot of them I could go ahead and start working on.
Why were you waiting?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, just like you had a goal last year, get your broker's license, and you're right there. You're going to be done by the end of the year.
I'm so close, yeah.
So your business goals, like your real estate goals, and this really would apply to anybody. It doesn't have to be real estate, so it could apply to anything. So your financial goals, how much you want to save, are you going to invest money, you going to buy rentals, whatever it might be. Professional, which would be learning, education, designations. Personal, relationships, vacations, you know, personal items. I see you have clothes on here, so and shoes.
Some people, that's what motivates them.
Very motivational.
If it motivates you, use it.
My wife's all about that shoe stuff. So, So what are your personal goals? You know, like, and even as far as that goes, you know, like relationships, maybe you need to work on or heal or mend or, you know, maybe there's somebody in your family you haven't talked to in years because you're mad at them. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
There could be many things that you could, you know, the thing is if you write this stuff down, you know, it's going to really help. So, and I noticed on here you got, which is really good, we've really been hammering our realtors at the off team on this, is journaling and reflection. So, really every day if you really just took 15-20 minutes and tried to do some journaling and just put on paper what's in your mind, it's going to kind of tie all of this together. It's kind of crazy how it works, but it does. Even with the vision board and all, it really just ties it all together of like, you know, what you're really wanting, what you want your life to look like. And then I think sometimes though, really to do this the right way, you probably need to like go somewhere and get away.
I do too. I think it would be good for people to schedule, you know, time to be alone, just with yourself, with your thoughts, and actually process and reflect this past year. What were goals that maybe you didn't hit and why? Because you know those answers. You may feel like you don't, but it's just going to take that time of sitting down and asking yourself, why didn't I hit that? You know, even if it was a goal that maybe you put on your board and thought like this is a far-reaching one. Well, far-reaching goals can still be hit within a timeline. You just have to set your plan to see when you're going to get there. Right. So,
well, for example, so we have our team members turning in 1 year, 5 year, and 10 year kind of a vision or goals. You know, where do you see your life in 10 years?
how do we get there?
Yeah. I mean, it's like, somebody said a great quote Tom Ferry had yesterday, like, you can accomplish so much more in 10 years than you think you can in a day, or something like that. It was something like, you'll be blown away by what you can do in 10 years, but sometimes you're like, I'm never going to get this done today. But in the big picture, if you just keep plugging away at
the consistency and the and the drive.
And speaking of so anyway, we can get you guys all this, like kind of a breakdown of the different goals. But I think it's very important to go through your all your goals on everything, even and you might have it on here, but also a lot of people have physical goals.
Oh yeah.
Like if you want to lose weight, or which now you can just get some of that weight loss medicine.
Ozempic.
You just get some Ozempic. Hey, you're good to go.
And there you go. You mark that off.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so your goals should be your financial, your business, your and under business we kind of have professional, and that's kind of where you talk about, we were talking about earlier, designations, more education, personal, and then. Which would be vacations, relationships, maybe something you want to buy.
Yeah.
So make sure you write your goals out, though. Handwrite. We think it's important that you handwrite them.
Yeah.
I know there's so many, there's programs and apps and all kinds of stuff to do goals on, but I think there's something very important to handwriting.
I think the more simplistic, the easier for your brain to build,
for sure.
And see.
Well, and just like your goals, put them on your, stick them on your bathroom mirror. Your vision board, have it somewhere where you see it every day, at your office or wherever it might be. So, but with all that said, we'll try to jump into planning a little bit and let you guys know how we do that part of it. Which we've got a form we can send you guys that really breaks it down and makes it real simple, but it's going to be basically, whatever your unit goal is, and I'm just going to say, for example, here's, let's say 24, because that's kind of a number, that's kind of the minimum here we expect our team members to do, which that's only 2 a month. We think that's very doable, especially with all the leads we provide and
systems.
The systems and the events we do with Sphere of Influence. So we think 24 is a very doable number.
Yeah.
So then it comes down to, how am I going to do 24
in a year?
How am I going to do 24?
Where am I going to get my business from?
Yeah, how am I going to do 24 sales in a year? So one thing I heard yesterday when everybody on our team was going through their vision boards and their goals, the ongoing theme was consistency. Like every one of them was like, I have to be more consistent. So, and a lot of that goes into, they talked about it. Almost every person said the same thing. Being consistent and blocking their time.
Yeah.
So, literally every day have a routine. When you get up in the morning, you have a routine, and then you're blocking your time to either do follow-up, prospecting, follow-up. And, we just know from experience, and you can see it, our top producers on the team right now, you can almost like clockwork every day they're here.
When they're going to be here.
Pretty much at the same time.
Making
in their
calls.
office with the door shut, making phone calls.
Yep.
Following
up with people.
Following up with leads, following up with Sphere, touching base with people. To break this down better on how to build your plan out to hit the 24, you've got to, we always say Sphere of Influence is your number one. So, and this is not a Sphere of Influence training, but we're glad to help you on how we do all that, how we even set it up. We don't even consider somebody on our Sphere of Influence unless we do what Brian McFinney calls the mayor campaign, which is where we said, hey, if you knew somebody who are buying or selling a property, do you have a realtor you refer them to? And we want to know we're their person.
Yeah.
We're their person. So, and we're just going, for basic numbers, we're just going to use 100.
Yeah.
So let's say you had 100 people in your Sphere of Influence. Well, that there alone, if you had 100 people who really were your people, you could almost generate, we always use a number of 5%.
Yeah.
So, and without going into great details, but the numbers come out to be, if you had 100 people in your Sphere of influence, and, they all knew 5 people, that's 500. And if you just get 5% of those to refer you business, that's 25.
You got 25, yeah.
That's 25 sales right there.
Yep. just from knowing 100 people who already know you and like you and trust you. You can't get better than that.
And you stay in front of them and stay top of mind awareness. And
you have events, you mail to them, you send emails to them, you call them, send them letters. I mean, they're your people.
You provide value to them.
Yeah.
Some system of providing value. So, then when and really when it comes to business planning, it's so, this is such a personal deal because it's like some people, you got expireds.
Yeah.
You got for sale by owners.
Open houses. Circle prospecting. Sign calls. Some people are just real lucky with getting their advertising out there. Social media. There's so many different ways.
Right.
Yeah.
I do say though, so you've got active, you have active lead sources and passive lead sources. We really try to focus our team on active lead sources. So it's something you can go out and generate the business and make it come in. Yeah. Passive is going to be more like, of course, on our team we have Zillow leads, Google leads. Mm-hmm. That's kind of passive because you don't know if you're going to get a Google. Are you going to get a call that day? Or are you going to get a Zillow call that day? You don't know.
Right. If you can't bet on it, it's passive.
That's pretty passive. Yeah. So I do consider your sphere of influence being active because I think you could really stay in control of that. Mm-hmm. So we tell everybody here, basically you need to have, so besides your sphere of influence, you need to have two other things that you're doing actively to generate business. So, to hit, if your goal's at 24, what are we going to do to hit that 24? So some people are never going to call expireds.
Yeah,
some people are never going to call for sale by owners.
Some people are never going to do an open house.
Yep, some people don't like doing open houses. So you got to kind of find what's right for you. But
what
we
you
have
like. Yeah, we'll do consistently.
Yeah, and we do have a sheet though that we can send you that will show you however many open houses you do, if you meet this many people, it breaks it down so you can plan your whole year out and say if I do this many open houses,
I can expect.
I can expect this many people, and on average I can convert this many, and it really it's a really really great way.
Yeah,
to lay your business
and it's very accurate because we'll compare it at the end of the year to what their goals were the previous year, and it's within, just a couple. It's very accurate.
Oh yeah, and especially on our sphere of influence, we've got that so dialed in. Yeah, we're almost on that 5% dead on. So, because we literally take our whole team and add their entire sphere of influence up, and we go down and run those numbers, and we're almost every year. I'm serious, it's crazy with. 5 sales one way or the other.
Yeah,
it's
so close. Yeah.
So so basically, we'll have that sheet to provide you where it'll go in, and you can literally break out your plan. But then you got to go the next step. So what we do here is our agents actually will fill that sheet out. They'll come sit down with us, and then we're going to help them kind of model that out and stick it in their calendar to what that looks like. So. What first quarter, here's what I need to accomplish.
Here's what, and it also helps us with the accountability side of it too, right? Because we can only help what we know. And so having their outline for what they want to do helps for me, so I can call them and say, hey, remember you wanted to do this many open houses so we could reach your goal. That's not happening. So what's going on? Right. And just staying in tune with each other to make sure we're all marching to the same goal, same path.
And if people want, I think it would be good to send. So, talking about accountability, part of the Tom Ferry business plan, they have in there's a part in there where it even says, how do you want to be held accountable?
Yeah.
Which I think is great because I think everybody needs to be held accountable in some way.
Yeah.
And everybody needs a coach or a mentor or somebody who can kind of, just have some expectations for them.
And care.
Sometimes it's, life's hard. It beats you up. And you need somebody, sometimes you need somebody to kick you in the butt. And sometimes you need somebody to cheer you on and pick you up and drag you down the field with them.
Right, exactly. We're human. Yeah. Right. Either kick me or hug me, but something,
Exactly. So I was trying to look what else on here. It's really hard to go more into detail on that besides just kind of show that sheet.
Right.
Where we can do that because there's so many different lead sources in real estate.
There is, There's a ton of different methods that you can go about it, and it's your business. So knowing your numbers, I think that's the main thing to drive home is knowing where your business came from. And other good things to know are your conversion rate for those lead sources, and we could go into detail, but it gets confusing. If you want more information, just reach out to me, send me a message or call me. I'll put all my
No, I
info
think
in,
that's right.
but-
The conversion. I mean,
Yeah.
well, so if you're new, then like here with the new people, we'll just use the company average.
Right.
You know, we'll use what's our average sales price. You know, what's our average commission? What's our
Right.
average? You know, how many open houses do you have to sit on to sell a house? You know, we kind of use the
To
company
get an appointment,
average.
to get a, yeah.
Yeah, but if you're not tracking that through, like literally, I think if you're not sitting down at the end, if you've been in the business a while and you're not sitting down at the end of the year and really going, where did my business come from?
Yeah.
You know, and then you got to really look at it like, what did I enjoy doing?
Yeah.
You know, like I don't like doing this part of the business, then don't do it.
Then don't make yourself do it,
Yeah,
because you won't.
Find something you enjoy doing
Yeah.
and stick to it. Get really good at it.
Make it your niche. I mean, go all in.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. So I'm trying to think. Can you think of anything else we kind of missed there on? You know, it's to me, like the building the plan out is the easy part.
Right.
You know, and with our worksheet we have, and like I said, we'd be glad to share it with anybody, and we'd be glad to help you fill it out. But it's really it's figuring out what your why is and what motivates you and what
And
every
personal
day.
goals. Yeah.
Yeah, like when you get up every day and you know, here's why I'm doing this, that you can reflect on it every day, because there's going to be days you don't want to do stuff. And there's no other business, you know, we talk about it all the time, like we'll interview somebody and we'll think, oh, they're going to be really good, and they end up being horrible because they're not a self-starter, they can't motivate themselves, they can't, you know,
they're not self-directing, which, like, we're here to help as much as we can, but at the end of the day, if you're a real estate agent, you own a business, you know, it's your business, and your brokerage is going to offer tools, goodness, I hope, to help you, and guidelines to help you and do what they can, but you can't motivate someone, which is very difficult. You can guide and you can help and you can push along the way and do everything you possibly can, but at the end of the day, you can't run their business for them. And having that why is what's going to motivate you to get up in the morning and recognize, like, yeah, maybe everybody did hang up on me yesterday, but I'm doing this for XYZ, so I'm going to keep making phone calls.
Right.
Yeah.
It is so hard. Like it's, you know, we talk about it all the time. Like, why do some people have that drive? You know, some people just
don't.
have that drive where they're going to get up and do whatever it takes to be successful. And then some people, you feel like you're just dragging them along.
By their teeth.
Yeah, to get them to, you know, even participate in stuff. And it's just like, you know, it's like you said, this is your own business. This is your business. You're the boss. Like it's your
Have
own
some pride
business.
in
I mean, every one of our agents have an LLC set up like it is their business.
Yeah.
So all we are here is to help guide them and help them and coach them and lead them down the right path. You know, when you're setting your goals next year, really think about that. Like, just think about, like, you know, are you where you want to be right now? I mean, is your life where you want it to? Is it where you want it to be at? Like, I mean, you completely content with where you are? You know,
I would hope not. I feel like there's always room to grow. So I would hope that you're wanting to push yourself towards something next, but if you're not even thinking about, I mean, you said it well earlier, if you're not even thinking about what your goals are or what your plan is, or you don't have one, then you're living somebody else's.
Oh, for sure,
that's
yeah.
rough.
And I think it's really important if you're a parent. Like, I've done this with my kids forever, and I even, you know, in fact, I've got all grown kids, and I sent out a couple weeks ago an incentive if they will give me 5 goals that they have this year and how they're going to accomplish them. And they don't have to be, you know, they're all in different careers and do different things, but I was just like, I'll give you all $100. And I know that's, you know, some of them, that's nothing. They make more, you know, they don't care about $100. But I've done that since they're in elementary school. Like, you know, this semester, what's your goal?
Yeah.
You know, what's your goal in school this semester?
Yeah.
And, you know, they write it down and they'd stick it on their door, or they'd stick it on, you know, on their bedroom door, they'd stick it on their bathroom mirror. But it's just, I think if you can get in a good habit of setting goals and having a plan to get there, man, life's so much easier. About every. I know one thing, when I'm stressed out and the day's going crazy or whatever, and you feel like everything's out of control, when you can sit down and put everything together and get a plan, then the stress goes away.
Then it's gone. Yeah,
because you're like, I know I can do whatever.
Yeah.
I just got to have a plan.
I just got to write it out and see it and see the end goal and how to get there.
Yeah.
It makes life so much easier.
And if you don't have a coach, like, I mean, you know, whether you're in Oklahoma or what, like, we're glad to help you however we can. But also, you know, wherever you are, like, it's all, I mean, hire a coach.
Yeah.
Like,
it'll
I think
change your
that's
life.
probably one of the best things I've done since I've been in the business is, you know, I've had Wayne Frederick with See the Field Consultant. He's awesome. He helped really get our business to a whole new level. And then been trying Tom Ferry this year just to see. Before Wayne, I had a coach with Brian Buffini.
Yeah.
You know, and I just liked, you know, I probably should stick with one maybe. I don't know. I just like getting different perspectives on my business and stuff. So.
And those were for extended periods of time. That wasn't just like,
yeah,
you know,
wasn't like a month at a time.
years and years.
Yeah, it was 5 to 7 years on each one of them probably.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, to wrap this up a little bit, can you think of anything else? I know we were kind of all over the place, and we sat here for a couple of days trying to figure this out. Not like actually sit here for 2 days straight, but we're kind of like, we tried to do this last Friday and get it done. It's just like, oh my gosh, we got to go more into this or whatever. Yeah. I actually thought I could just get on here and talk for 30 minutes about goals, but there's such a big round of things and to do. So hopefully you know.
I hope this is beneficial. I feel like it should be.
Yeah, and if not, like, reach out to us. Like, if you just want a one-on-one with me or Lauren, call us, and we're glad to talk to you and help you figure out a plan. I mean, it is not about it, you being at our brokerage. It's not about any of that. No. It's just, you know, our goal is to help as many realtors as we can to have the most successful life they can.
We want to see less people. We want to minimize that 80% that get out of the business.
Also, what was that? So if you haven't seen the Brian Buffini bold predictions for, I guess it'd be 2025 bold predictions that came out probably Monday this week.
Yeah.
Which would be the 8th, maybe 9th. Anyway,
yeah.
You can probably Google it and find Brian Buffini's bold predictions.
And I'll put links to it too.
But one stat he had on there, and I don't know if you have it written down, but it was like how many people hadn't even sold, how many real estate agents nationwide hadn't even sold a house?
Pretty sure.
And it was like almost half.
I think it was like 700,000 or something.
It was insane how many had not even sold a property.
A single home.
All year, they never even sold a house. So you're like, why do you have your real estate license?
Because yeah.
I mean, seriously, like, you spend all the money to be a member of the board and all that, and you don't sell anything.
And then you don't sell anything. So what's the benefit to you?
So if you're one of those agents and you're like, man, I really want to change my life and make this work, like, I just have to make this work. Reach out to us. Like, we'd love to talk to you and help you and see, you know, maybe we're not the perfect answer with everything or have the right answers for everything, but we'd love to try to help you. And we'll at least point you in the right direction and get somebody who can help you. So anyway, but that's really all I can think of to cover on this, Lauren, unless you have something else. And like I said, I apologize for us being all over the place, but we'll put the links to everything in the podcast here. And then, like I said, if you have questions, just call us. Like, just reach out to us. Like, we're, you know.
We just want to help however we can.
Yep.
Truly. Yeah, it's a wonderful business to be in. I don't know any other business where you truly put in everything you can and your effort comes back to you. There's no other business like that. You are on the path to financial freedom. If you don't feel like you are just not talking and surrounding yourself with the right agents or the right people, because I've seen it time and time again in this business, and it's beautiful and it's awesome. So if you need anything, reach out to us, but good luck on planning your goals and start with something easy, maybe just journaling and reflecting on your last year.
Yep, and everybody have a happy holidays, and we'll probably catch you in January with the new podcast.
All right, see you guys. Bye.
You just listened to an episode of Real Talk. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow us on your preferred streaming platform and follow us on socials for more content. We hope you have a good day, and we'll see you next time.